Good morning. Welcome to Morning Special. 여러분 안녕하세요. 9월 24일 화요일 최수진의 Morning Special입니다. The first and foremost form of identification is our resident registration card. A single card that tells the world the who, where, and when of our existence. And up until now, we needed to have proof of that document printed on paper for further uses like verifications and authorizations. Well, that too is soon to move into the digital world. 그동안 종이로만 발급받아온 주민등록 등 초본 등 각종 증명서를 이르면 올 연말부터 스마트폰을 통해서 전자문서 형태로 받아 은행 앱 등에 사용할 수 있게 됩니다. 행정안전부는 11월까지 다양한 금융기관 앱을 통해서도 전자증명서를 배포할 수 있도록 기반을 구축하고요. 12월부터는 주민등록 등 초본부터 전자증명서로 시범 발급할 방침이고 내년에는 가족관계증명서, 토지대장, 건축물 대장 등을 전자화하고 2021년까지는 증명서, 확인서 300종으로 확대할 계획이라고 합니다. Well, in a world where identification is definitely key for everything we need in our day-to-day life, simplifying the process, I suppose, was only a matter of time. And with that said, I'm going to give you today's first quiz question. Here it is. The resident registration card is usually referred to as this. 1번 ID, 2번 IT. 오늘도 청취자 여러분의 많은 참여 기다리고 있습니다. 퀴즈 정답 보내주신 분들 중에 추첨을 통해서 총 5분께 떡볶이 세트 보내드리겠습니다. Of course, in the opening, I mentioned the word identification. I hope that's a big tip as to what the answer is. Send us your messages and greetings as well. 오늘 여러분의 소식과 소감 그리고 방송 중 궁금한 질문 있으시면 보내주세요. 짧은 문자 50원, 긴 문자 100원에 샵 1045고요. 무료 반디 게시판이나 카카오톡 플러스 이용도 가능합니다. Okay then, let's kick off today's show with today's global headlines. 세계 각국 언론사들의 어떤 헤드라인이 올라왔는지 살펴보는 시간입니다. Touch Global Headlines.
President Moon Jae-in has held his 9th summit talks with his U.S. counterpart Donald Trump.
문재인 대통령과 트럼프 미국 대통령이 뉴욕에서 9번째 한미 정상회담을 가졌습니다.
The European car industry has warned of catastrophic effects of a no-deal Brexit, as it would have a seismic impact on making cars in Europe.
유럽 자동차 업계가 No-Deal Brexit가 현실화되면 EU와 영국의 자동차 업계에서 수조 원 규모의 손실이 발생할 것이라고 경고했습니다.
The world's oldest travel operator, UK-based Thomas Cook, has collapsed after 178 years of history.
178년의 역사에 세계에서 가장 오래된 여행사인 토머스 쿡이 파산했습니다.
Controversy is growing in Japan over Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's promise to U.S. President Trump to buy large amounts of U.S. corn in negotiations for a U.S.-Japan trade agreement.
아베 신조 일본 총리가 미일 무역협정 협상에서 트럼프 미국 대통령에게 미국산 옥수수 대량 구매를 약속한 것을 두고 일본 내에서 논란이 커지고 있습니다.
U.S. TV series Game of Thrones has won the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Drama Series for the second year in a row.
미국 인기 드라마 왕좌의 게임이 지난해에 이어 올해도 에미상 최고 드라마상을 거머쥐었습니다. And for the headlines and more, I'm joined by Steve Hatherley. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning to you. That's pretty interesting what you were talking about in the opening. So those physical identification cards that we carry around now are going to be a thing of the past.
Well, not the cards per se, but the documents you need to get that are related to those ID cards.
Okay.
You know, when you might have to get some sort of family relation identification, or when you buy land or property, you have to get papers
And that's
with
going to
those
be
ID
digital.
cards. That's all going to be digital
The
in
world,
the future.
I mean, IDs are changing now. I remember I was at the airport not so long ago, and I was pretty excited because of that online registration thing you can do with your passport so that
Yeah.
you don't have to stand in line.
I love that.
Isn't that pretty cool? Gosh, you know, those lines can be usually at the Incheon airport, because the Incheon airport is amazing.
Yeah.
Those lines are not so long, but they can be really long when you're coming in, right?
Right.
So that's a nice step too. Yeah, everything's going digital these days.
It is indeed. I feel like one day we're going to have like digital radio and, digital DJs and
Yeah. Well,
robots are going to take my job.
did you not see the story out of China? Was it the last 6 months or the last year about the AI news anchor? You didn't see the video
I think
for that?
I heard about that. I didn't see the video though. Tell me about it.
The video looks pretty realistic. I mean,
no.
because that was the story, right? It's an AI anchor. Because you can tell. But if you didn't know,
Really?
you might just think that person had a really serious personality.
No.
So
Yeah.
let's do a good job this
Yeah,
morning,
we
Sue.
have to work extra hard today.
네.
네. 이형단 님이요. 하늘이 너무 예쁜 하루입니다 라고 보내주셨어요. The sky is looking great, says our listener 이형단 님 this morning. It looked lovely yesterday as well. I went out for a stroll and took lots of pictures. It was really nice.
'Tis the season for beautiful skies,
It
isn't it?
is.
It's the best time. I think it's the best time of year for weather and aesthetics as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
박희정 님도 굿모닝 모스 보내주셨고요. 정정현 님, 가을이 깊어졌어요. 강소현 님, 너무 상쾌한 아침입니다. 이보나님, Good Morning Special. 오늘 아침은 살짝 쌀쌀하네요. 모두 환절기 감기 조심하세요. 라고 보내주셨습니다. My car this morning, it was parked outside last night and it was covered in dew.
Oh, this morning.
Yeah, so I could tell it's gotten a lot colder.
A little chilly in the mornings. Yeah, that's the best thing about playing golf in the early morning too. Is that the dew, the water is still on the top surface of the grass. It's
Yeah.
so pretty because it glistens, right?
Yeah, I love that. It's just a shame that autumn doesn't last as long as I think it should.
Yeah.
Because I feel like maybe a month or so is going to be the extent of it.
Well, we're going to talk about Game of Thrones in a little while. And in that show, they said, winter is coming.
Oh, all right. Okay, well, if you'd like to listen to the headlines again, you can do so by visiting our website. 모닝 스페셜 홈페이지에 들어오셔서요. 조금 전에 읽어드린 headline 다시 들으실 수 있습니다. Let's go over the headlines.
Headline number one this morning, President Moon Jae-in has held his 9th summit talks with his U.S. counterpart, Donald Trump. Am I correct when I say that it wrapped up not so long ago?
About 30 minutes ago.
Those
I think,
talks, yeah. So I'm sure that later on today we'll get more specific details about what exactly was said between the two presidents. But there were some various things that were expected to be talked about. President Moon is in New York, kind of a whirlwind 5-day trip, I guess you could call it. The UN General Assembly is meant to kick off tomorrow, Korea time, I believe. That would be Tuesday local time. But they're going to talk about North Korea-related issues, of course. That's going to be one of the big deals, right? And the denuclearization of the peninsula.
Because we're hopefully getting one step closer to denuclearization. 네, 한 30분 전인 우리 시간으로 7시 30분경에 뉴욕에서 우리나라와 미국 간의 정상회담이 마무리가 됐다라는 소식이 들어오고 있습니다. Of course, President Moon Jae-in is in New York for the UN General Assembly, as you mentioned. 현지 시간으로 화요일 날 시작이 될 UN 총회 때문에 각국 정상들이 지금 뉴욕에 모여 있는데요. President Moon is actually going to have his own keynote speech tomorrow, I believe. So do you have the time for that?
The time of day that it's going to be starting, 2:30 a.m. That would be Korea time. So if you're up late, maybe Thursday morning, you could follow along with that.
네, 우리 시간으로 내일 새벽 2시 반에 문재인 대통령의 기조연설이 있을 예정이고요. 유엔 총회에서는 이렇게 각국 정상들이 각각 뭐 한 15분, 20분 정도씩 나와서 연설을 하고 여러 가지 의제에 대해서 얘기를 합니다. 네, 워낙 많은 국가들이 참여를 하기 때문에 여러 날에 걸쳐서 25일부터 30일까지 뉴욕에서 그 UN General Assembly가 열리고요. Now, going back to the summit, though, between Presidents Moon and Trump, you mentioned denuclearization.
That's one of the issues that they were expected to talk about. Another one, and this is a bit of a touchy subject, is the negotiation of next year's cost-sharing agreement for U.S. troops stationed here in the country. We know that a lot of the troops have moved down to the Pyeongtaek area as of now, and I think one of the things that they talked about, too, is who's going to be paying for things U.S. military-related in the future.
And also strengthening of alliances between South Korea and the US as well, obviously was one of the key points that was mentioned during the hour or so summit that wrapped up 30 minutes ago.
Lots of things on the table to talk about.
네, 한 1시간 조금 넘게 정상회담이 이뤄졌는데요. 거기에는 이제 한반도 비핵화에 대한 얘기가 나온 것으로 이렇게 전해지고 있습니다. 더 구체적으로 말을 하자면은 이제 조만간에 제3차 북미 정상회담을 열 준비를 하자라는 논의가 오고 간 것으로 그렇게 전해지고 있고요. 한미 동행 강화에 대한 얘기도 이뤄진 것으로 외신이 보도를 하고 있습니다. 뭐 미국 LNG 가스에 대한 한국 수입 추가라든지 한국 자동차 업계와 또 미국 자율운행 기업 간의 어떤 투자 문제 등등이 논의된 것으로 그렇게 전해지고 있습니다. Also on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly, President Trump will maybe have a meeting with the Iranian president. Nothing is decided.
Yeah. And that's what
That
they've
might
said.
happen.
Iran's President Hassan Rouhani also in America for the UN General Assembly. And that's, I think, all we can say right now is that they don't know whether there are going to be talks or not. Usually when they have these big summits, these things like the UN General Assembly, lots of conversations take place
On the side.
On the side.
Sure, because it's a great opportunity.
Everybody's there.
Everyone's
Everybody's
there,
at the
yeah.
party, if you will.
Yeah.
So why not have some conversations? But as we know, things between the United States and Iran haven't been fantastic as of late. So whether this meeting is going to happen or not between Rouhani and Trump, we're not entirely sure yet.
It does look like Iran is saying we are open to talks, and I think Washington is also open to dialogue. So maybe, nothing is set, but maybe on the sidelines something will take place.
Yeah.
UN General Assembly와는 별도로 여러 나라 간의 정상회담이 우리나라와 마찬가지로 있을 예정인데요. 그중에 아직 예정에는 없지만 미국과 이란 간의 어떤 회담이 있지 않을까 하는 추측이 나오고 있습니다. 그 근거로는 이란 측에서 우리는 대화를 원한다라고 얘기를 했고요. 그다음 미국에서도 예정은 없지만 굳이 대화를 원한다면은 우리도 하겠다라는 입장을 밝혔습니다. Let's go on to our next headline.
Headline number 2 this morning. The European car industry has warned of catastrophic effects of a no-deal Brexit as it would have a seismic, quote-unquote, seismic impact on making cars in Europe. So this time around, the Brexit deal... the deadline is October 31st, correct? That's what Boris Johnson has said. Now, whether that remains a strict or set date will remain to be seen because, as we know, that date has been pushed back numerous times. But Boris Johnson has said that deal or no deal, October 31st is the day. Now, this is a very rare joint statement from the chiefs of 23 automotive business associations from all across Europe. They are very worried about this. And the reason they're worried about this, well, there are numerous reasons.
Okay.
Because the EU is an open market, what that means is a car that is built in Germany, for example, can be bought in England for the exact same amount of money because there are no import costs.
Sure.
There's no taxes. So that would have an impact not only on the cost of cars in the UK because it's going to make them a lot more expensive,
yeah.
but the red tape, the paperwork of getting all of these automobiles now into England, it's going to slow down the process. It's going to make the process a lot more expensive too.
Right, and we're looking at astronomical figures here, hence the word seismic impact.
Yeah, well, I mean, automakers, sorry to interrupt, they've already cut a lot of their investment in England. It fell 70% in the 6 months coming up to June. So they see this coming. They see the writing on the wall.
Sure, absolutely. 유럽 자동차 업계가요, no deal Brexit가 현실화되면은 EU와 영국의 자동차 업계에서 수조 원 규모의 손실이 발생할 것이라고 경고를 했는데요. 한 그 추측에 의하면은 이제 1분당 한 7천만 원의 손실이 있을 것이다라고 얘기를 하고 있습니다. 그 이유는 지금 스티브 선생님이 얘기해 주신 것처럼 현재로서는 EU 안에서 EU 회원국 간에는 관세가 없습니다. 또 국경도 뭐 거의 없다시피 하는데 이렇게 No deal Brexit를 통해서 영국이 빠져나가게 되면은 전체적인 이 순환 구조에 차질이 생기기 때문에 엄청난 손실이 있을 것이다 라는 얘기가 나오고 있고요. 브렉시트가 지금 예정된 게 10월 31일. We only have about a month and a few days left, 6 weeks actually, until Brexit is to take place. And still no deal.
Yeah. But again, we don't know whether October 31st is going to be that hard set date or
Well,
whether...
that's what Boris Johnson says, but
Yeah.
yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I wonder what this will mean for British consumers, though, because I'm not a car expert like Walter is. But as far as I know, car production from British car companies is not a big thing in England. So that means that consumers, and up until this deal, they could affordably buy cars from other countries. But if there's a no-deal Brexit, things are going to get a lot more expensive. So I don't know what that means for car consumers, people buying cars in England in the future.
그렇죠. 아무래도 자동차 가격이 올라가겠죠. 영국에서 이제 뭐 그동안에는 관세 없이 샀던 유럽 차들을 뭐 그렇게 사지는 못할 것 같습니다. But talking about consumers, let's go on to our next story.
Yeah, this is scary news, right? The Thomas Cook story, the oldest travel operator in the world, UK-based Thomas Cook has collapsed after 178 years of history. Are you familiar with the Thomas Cook travel company?
Yeah, it was very easy to see a Thomas Cook travel agency here and there. So yes.
I think one of the things, and the company has gone belly up now, and there are a few things to talk about. First of all, 21,000 jobs have been lost because this company is no longer. Things were really bad up until March 31st of this year. The 6 months leading up to March 31st, the company lost $1.9 billion. And one of the reasons that they were having trouble keeping up with the market is because nobody goes to a brick and mortar, or at least not many people go to a brick and mortar travel shop anymore.
Sure. I book online, for example.
Everybody does, I think. But Thomas Cook had these brick and mortar shops, and they were selling their packages out of there, along with hotels and airline tickets as well. So they were having trouble competing. Anyway, the company has gone belly up. Now, what does that mean for travelers around the world? 150,000 customers, British customers, have been stranded overseas. 600,000 Thomas Cook customers have been stranded at some point, at some location in the world. Now, for the British customers, the 150,000, they will be taken care of, meaning their flights will be taken care of, their hotels that they need will be taken care of. There's been an emergency website established where they can check in. But for the other remaining 450,000 Thomas Cook customers, I think they might be on their own.
Yeah, and they're also very, very mad. A lot of furious customers have demanded to get their money back as soon as they heard the news. And a lot of these people, as you said, are enjoying a relaxing holiday. Some of them are on their honeymoons and first-time vacations. And to hear that this travel agency has gone bankrupt, I mean, it's obviously going to halt all of their plans.
I mean, can you imagine being overseas on vacation and everything that you had booked? If you had booked your hotel, your airline tickets through Thomas Cook, that's all gone now.
네, 178년의 역사를 가지고 있는 세계에서 가장 오래된 여행사 터머스 쿠크가 파산했다는 소식인데요. 영국 여행사입니다. 네, 영국 안에서만 해도 뭐 600개 이상의 지점을 가지고 있고, 그 다음에 16개국에서 영업 지점을 둔 글로벌 여행사고요. 아마 여러분도 들어보신 분들 있으실 수도 있어요. 여행 중인 사람이 지금 현재 토마스 쿠크를 이용해서 여행 중인 사람이 60만 명인데 그 중에서 15만 명 정도가 이제 영국인인 것으로 드러났습니다. 이 영국인들은 영국 정부의 프로그램을 통해서 아마 어느 정도 경제적인 손실은 좀 피할 수 있지 않을까 싶은데, 그러면 나머지 이제 45만 명은 어떻게 하느냐? 굉장히 지금 분노에 찬, 기가 찬 여행객들이 있다라는 소식이 실시간으로 계속 들려오고 있고요. 아직은 뭐 지금 진행 중인 뉴스이기 때문에 어떻게 될지는 잘 모르겠습니다만 어쨌든 이 여행사가 파산했다는 소식에 많은 분들이 놀라고 있습니다. Let's go on to our next headline.
Headline number 4 this morning. Controversy is growing in Japan over Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe's promise to U.S. President Trump to buy large amounts of U.S. corn in negotiations for a U.S.-Japan trade agreement.
네, 아베 신조 일본 총리가 미일 무역협정 협상에서 트럼프 미국 대통령에게 미국산 옥수수 대량 구매를 약속한 것을 두고 일본 내에서 논란이 커지고 있습니다. People in Japan are right now very puzzled as to why the Prime Minister has promised to buy all this American corn.
So, not so long ago, Abe and Trump had a meeting, and what Abe was trying to do, I guess, was to get America to sign this bilateral trade agreement.
Yep.
And one of the sticking points was corn. Now, this was corn that China was meant to import.
Yeah,
but
before the trade dispute.
Yeah, but now America is sitting with this amount of corn, and it's a ton. In fact, it's 2.75 million tons of U.S. corn. So, to push the needle closer to getting America to sign that bilateral trade agreement, Abe said, Japan will take the corn. Now, he did that without consulting the Japanese corn importers. Now, according to a report on Sunday that came from the Tokyo Shimbun, these Japanese corn importers don't want it. So this is going to be potentially a major sticking point because Abe spoke on his own behalf without consulting the people that needed to be consulted. And now this might be a big deal if they are going to get closer to signing this agreement.
Right. 지난달 한 달 전쯤에요. 일본의 아베 총리와 미국 트럼프 대통령이 프랑스에서 정상회담을 가졌었는데 그 당시에 아베 총리가 미국의 옥수수 한 275만 톤을 수입하겠다고 약속했다고 합니다. 그리고 아마 내일 또는 모레 이 UN General Assembly가 열리고 있는 기간 동안에 일본과 미국이 실제로 정상회담을 갖고 이 FTA, 딜에 대한 얘기가 좀 진전이 있을 것으로 보여지는데 문제는 일본 내에서 사료 회사들은요. 이 옥수수를 수입할 생각이 없다고 합니다. I don't know what's going on. The people who were supposed to use the corn say they don't want it.
Japan's related industry, they said they have no intention of importing it, but you and I were joking before the show today. If the deal does go through, you might see corn in a lot of Japanese dishes where it was not present before. You're on a flight to Tokyo. Good morning, ma'am. Would you like some corn? Let's try to get rid of it the best way they can.
Well, we'll have to see how the summit on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly goes over in America. Let's go to our final headline.
Are you a fan of the TV show Game of Thrones?
I am ashamed to say I don't know this very well, but tell us what the story's about.
The U.S. TV series Game of Thrones, or as Paul likes to call it, Games of Thrones, which tells me he has never seen one episode. Game of Thrones has won the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Drama Series for the second year in a row.
네, 미국 인기 드라마 왕자의 게임이 지난해 올해도 에미상 최고 드라마상을 거머쥐었습니다.
12 Emmys for its 8th and final season. So the show is finished now. It's not going to be on TV anymore. Peter Dinklage. Are you familiar with Peter Dinklage? You must be, right? Really? Not so much? He's one of the actors. He is incredible. He won for Outstanding Supporting Actor. And of course, as I mentioned, the show won for Outstanding Drama Series. They also won 10 technical awards. They racked up a total of 32 nominations for their final season. Pretty impressive, huh?
왕자의 게임이 그래서 이제 드라마상 에미에서 최고상이죠. 이걸 총 4회 수상하는 기록을 세웠다는 소식입니다.
It was on TV here in Korea, and it was incredibly popular here in the country too.
Yeah.
Although people said about the final season, or maybe even the final 2 seasons, that the writing wasn't really great.
I
So
see.
people
Okay.
love the show, obviously.
It still got the
anyway.
award.
Exactly.
All right. Well, those are our headlines for this morning. Let's remind our listeners of the quiz.
Quiz question this morning. The resident registration card is usually referred to as number 1, ID, number 2, IT.
네, 짧은 문자 50원, 긴 문자 100원에 샵 1045 그리고 무료 반디 게시판이나 카카오톡 플러스로 보내주세요. 추첨을 통해서 총 5분께 떡볶이 세트 보내드리겠습니다. 노래 듣고 오겠습니다. This is Dodgy, Good Enough. Let's take a look at our first news focus story. 자, 첫 번째 뉴스 포커스입니다. 상복을 입은 한 무리의 사람들이 스위스 알프스 산맥의 피졸 중턱에 모였는데요. 이들은 해발 2,700m가 넘는 고지대까지 올라와서 추모한 것이 있는데 그것은 바로 사람이 아니라 빙하였다고 합니다. Let's listen to the story.
Roughly 250 people held a funeral and paid respects to a Swiss glacier that is disappearing as temperatures climb. Piesel Glacier in the Glarus Alps stands at an altitude of roughly 2,700 meters and has lost 80 to 90% of its volume since 2006, leaving behind 26,000 square meters of ice. The glacier, which has been monitored since 1893, will be the first to be taken off the Swiss Glacier Surveillance Network.
네, 이색적인 장례식이 열렸는데요. 그것은 바로 빙하의 장례식이었습니다. 가장 심도 있는 연구가 진행됐었던 빙하이기도 한데 더 이상 존재하지 않는 것으로 아주 안타까운 소식이 전해졌습니다. Of course, it's not completely gone. There's still some ice there, but
It's true.
It's not really a glacier anymore, is it?
That's true. Also, yes, 80 to 90% of its volume is gone. Yeah, and
So
that's
if you check the point in radio right now, you can check the footage of it and you can compare the past to the present. Yeah, it's so different.
they say it's going to vanish completely by 2030. It's really sad, isn't it?
Very sad.
Yeah, and that's why they held this funeral. The glacier itself, it stands in the Glarus Alps at an altitude of roughly 2,700 meters. So when we say that something stands at something, it's very simple in its meaning. It means how high or how tall it is. So I am 182 centimeters.
How are you?
I say I stand at 6 feet tall.
I stand at 아니면 여기서는 the Alps stands at 그리고 그 다음에 높이를 말하면은요 이 정도의 높이다 고도가 어느 정도 된다 키가 어느 정도 된다라는 뜻이 되겠습니다. You're about 10 centimeters taller than me. I would like to say, but it's not true.
So you stand a little lower to the ground.
You're about 20 centimeters taller than me, I have to say. 자, 그래서 stand at 뭐뭐뭐 높이 쓰시면 되겠고요. Ahead of that, there was pay respects.
Yes, that's right. And that's why people gathered here, right? To pay their respects. And we use this expression when someone, typically it's someone, but it can be something, passes away or dies. So I've heard many times someone say to me, when I ask them, oh, what are you doing this weekend? And they say, well, my coworker's family member passed away. My coworker's uncle passed away. So I have to go to the hospital this weekend, right? So this is where you can use this expression is, I have to go to the hospital or I'm going to the hospital to pay my respects.
Pay one's respects. 그러면 조의를 표하다라는 뜻입니다. 경의를 표하다라는 뜻도 될 수 있지만 여기서는 이렇게 조의를 표한다라는 의미로 보시면 되겠고요. Pay respects to 누구누구라고도 표현을 할 수 있습니다. It's always pay respects.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's respects. And why, you may ask? I don't know is the answer.
아까 음악 나가는 동안에 스티브 선생님이 저한테 왜 이게 복수일까? 왜 단수가 아닐까?라고 물어보셨는데요. 저도 모르겠습니다. 이렇게 항상 씁니다.
Because English.
네. 그냥 그대로 받아들여야 되는 게 많아요. Now the glacier has been monitored since the 19th century.
Yeah, since 1893, they've been keeping an eye on this glacier, and that's what monitoring something is, to watch carefully. It's a little bit of a formal word, right? But we can use it in the home as well. For example, if your baby sleeps in another room, you have that little walkie-talkie type thing. That's called a baby monitor. And that's so that you can keep an eye on the baby or watch closely over the baby.
그렇죠. 모니터하다, 주시하다. 여기서 이제 사실 연구했다는 의미로 쓰이기도 했습니다. Let's listen to the story one more time.
Roughly 250 people held a funeral and paid respects to a Swiss glacier that is disappearing as temperatures climb. Piesel Glacier in the Glarus Alps stands at an altitude of roughly 2,700 meters and has lost 80 to 90% of its volume since 2006, leaving behind 26,000 square meters of ice. The glacier, which has been monitored since 1893, will be the first to be taken off the Swiss Glacier Surveillance Network.
자, 두 번째 뉴스 포커스입니다. 전 세계 남녀노소 할 것 없이 사랑받는 슈퍼히어로 배트맨이 탄생 80주년을 맞았는데요. 이를 기념하기 위해서 전 세계 주요 도시에서 배트맨 조명을 각 도시의 랜드마크 빌딩에 비추는 기념 행사가 열렸습니다. Let's listen to the story.
Batman's bat signal shined in several cities around the world to commemorate the character's 80th anniversary. The first Batman comic was released in New York in 1939, and to mark the occasion, the Caped Crusader's signal was beamed onto famous buildings in various cities around the world. The glow of the distinctive bat silhouette lit up skyscrapers and landmarks around the world in rolling fashion as the sun set in each city. I must be honest, I was hoping for the Batman music. For that.
Batman. 네, 저도 생각나네요. Okay, so the world commemorated its 80th anniversary.
It's pretty cool, isn't it? You know, the first Batman comic came out in New York way back in 1939, the 80th anniversary, and they wanted to celebrate that 80th anniversary, and that's what commemorating something is. It's when you recall something, you think about something, you have some sort of event to show respect for that thing.
기념하는 것을 commemorate라고 표현을 하죠. Now, this famous signal was beamed onto famous buildings all across the world.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't think they did it here in Seoul. It would have been cool to see the tower in the Chamsil area, that really tall one, beam out the bat signal. But anyway, yes, to beam means to shine brightly onto a surface or out to somewhere. So car headlights, they beam. When you flick them and they go higher or brighter, that's called high beams.
Ah, yeah. 우리도 하이빔이라고 해요. In Korean, it's the same.
Oh, yeah. And we can use this about people, too. If I say to Sue, wow, you're beaming this morning, that means she has a huge smile on her face. She's beaming like a car headlight.
네. 이제 beam 그러면 이제 조명을 비추다라는 뜻도 되고요. 사람한테 쓸 때는 굉장히 활짝 웃는다라는 뜻이 됩니다. 멜번부터 시작해서 뉴욕까지 이렇게 순차적으로 그 배트맨 표시가 주요 건물에 비춰졌는데요. 80주년 기념하기 위한 행사였어요. And of course, it's a distinctive bat silhouette.
Yeah, when something is distinctive, it means when you look at it, you know what it is. When you hear it, you know what it is.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, without knowing, if you hear Adele sing, do you know it's Adele?
I know it's Adele.
You know it's Adele because she
Yeah.
has such a distinctive voice, meaning when you hear it, you know what it is. And in this case, the bat signal, everybody knows what that is because it's so distinctive.
It is. And I think it would be safe to say that both you and I have quite distinctive voices as well.
I should hope so.
A lot of people can tell it's Steve Hatherley or myself when we talk on air.
That would be bad if they couldn't, yes.
네, 그러니까 뭔가 이제 딱 어떤 특징적인 것, 그걸 distinctive라고 하는데요. 배트맨의 시그널 굉장히 눈에 띄는 딱 보면은 알만한 그런 사인이죠. 그래서 distinctive라는 표현이 쓰였습니다. Let's listen to the story one more time.
Batman's bat signal shined in several cities around the world to commemorate the character's 80th anniversary. The first Batman comic was released in New York in 1939, and to mark the occasion, the Caped Crusader signal was beamed onto famous buildings in various cities around the world. The glow of the distinctive bat silhouette lit up skyscrapers and landmarks around the world in rolling fashion as the sun set in each city.
It's time to remind our listeners of the quiz once more. And what would that be, Steve?
Quiz question today. The resident registration card is usually referred to as number 1, ID, or number 2, IT.
네, identification의 줄임말 찾아주시면 되겠습니다. Is it ID or IT? 짧은 문자 50원, 긴 문자 100원에 샵 1045로 보내주시고요. 반디 게시판이나 카카오톡 플러스는 무료로 이용 가능합니다. 추첨을 통해서 총 5분께 떡볶이 세트 보내드리겠습니다. 노래 듣고 와서 다음 뉴스 포커스 볼게요. Who am I to you? Norah Jones. 자, 다음 뉴스 포커스 살펴볼게요. 중국 과학자들이 수만 명의 얼굴을 또렷이 포착해 순식간에 특정인을 잡아낼 수 있는 5억 화소 해상도의 슈퍼 카메라를 개발했습니다. Let's listen to the story.
Chinese scientists have developed an artificial intelligence-enabling cloud camera system able to capture thousands of faces in perfect detail and generate the data for the cloud while instantly locating a target. The 500-megapixel resolution camera system is 5 times the 120 million pixel resolution of the human eye. The project, however, is not without its critics, as one doctor from the School of Astronautics of Harbin Institute of Technology said that the normal surveillance public security system is already sufficient.
(5억) 화소, 500 megapixel.
Crazy, right? I also did not know that the human eye has a resolution of 120 million pixels.
Nor did I.
So I learned something new this morning too.
As do I. Well, this particular camera, dubbed the super camera, can capture faces in perfect detail.
Yeah,
right?
perfect detail. It means almost that the camera can see the pores on your nose. It captures every single detail in perfect, and that's what perfect means when you put it in front of detail here. It means that there is not one detail that is missed.
네, 여기서 imperfect detail은 굉장히 또렷이 뭔가가 보인다라는 뜻입니다. It can also refer to, a document that's in, I don't know, if there's a lot of detail in there and you memorize everything, then you memorize it in perfect detail.
You memorized every single little thing about it.
그래서 여기서의 perfect는 아주 세세한 그런 의미가 있고요. 디테일도 물론 그렇습니다. 그래서 아주 멀리서도 또렷이 사람이 보이는데 the 500 megapixel resolution camera라고 했어요. Resolution, camera lovers or photographers
will be very familiar with this term, right?
Yeah.
It means as how clear something is. And we talk about this with televisions and computer monitors and things like this. When we talk about its resolution, it's how clear you can see the picture.
Yeah. Are you a fan of high definition resolution?
Sure. I mean, if it means I can see it clearly. I'm a fan of seeing things clearly. Yeah.
For me, I'm fine with it as long as I'm the one watching. But if it's me behind the screen.
Now I see the point of your question. Yes.
I don't think our 보이는 라디오 is like 5억 화소, which is a relief,
Yeah, when you're having your picture taken, you prefer a lower resolution,
맞아요.
right?
저도 이제 보는 입장에서는 좋은 높은 화소가 좋지만 제가 카메라에 나올 때는 조금 부담스럽더라고요. 화소라는 뜻의 resolution이 쓰였고 Now this project is not without its critics.
Sure, they say that the public security system is already sufficient. There are other people who are worried about security concerns, kind of a big brother concern, if you will.
맞아요.
So if the project or if something is not without its critics, it's a fancy way of saying it has its critics.
네. 비판이 없는 것이 아니다. 그러니까 비판적인 목소리도 나오고 있다. 사생활 침해 문제도 대두가 되고 있습니다. Let's listen to the story one more time.
Chinese scientists have developed an artificial intelligence-enabling cloud camera system able to capture thousands of faces in perfect detail and generate the data for the cloud while instantly locating a target. The 500-megapixel resolution camera system is 5 times the 120 million pixel resolution of the human eye. The project, however, is not without its critics, as one doctor from the School of Astronautics of Harbin Institute of Technology said that the normal surveillance public security system is already sufficient.
It's time to announce the answer to the quiz. What is it, Steve?
The question was, the resident registration card is usually referred to as, was it number 1, ID, or number 2, IT? The answer, of course, is ID.
네, 1번이 정답이고요. 윤용호님, 4417 끝번호 쓰시는 분과 1697님, 그리고 매력덩어리 린이라는 아이디 쓰시는 분과 이창민님 축하드립니다. 떡볶이 세트 보내드릴게요. 모닝스페셜 홈페이지에 들어오셔서 주소 꼭 남겨주세요. We have a quick question from our listener 1375 끝번호 쓰시는 분이 미국도 우리나라와 같은 절기가 있나요? 어제 추분과 같은 개념이요. Do you have these seasonal divisions in America or Canada, like the autumn equinox yesterday?
Like the longest days of the year, shortest
like that,
days of the
yeah.
year. I think so. I don't know if we really define it or talk about it in a conversation, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I think it exists. Because in Canada and America, well, depending on where you are in America, but in Canada, we have 4 distinct seasons. And of course, one day of the year is the longest and one day of the year is the shortest. So, of course, yeah, it does exist.
네, 있습니다. 물론 똑같지는 않아요. 우리처럼 뭐 24절기가 있는 건 아니지만 어제 추분 같은 경우는 외국 신문에도 찾아보면은 autumn equinox 관련된 얘기들이 있어요. 근데 이제 이걸 뭐 일상생활 속에서 사람들이 오늘 추분이래 라고 하면서 대화를 나누는 것은 아니지만 그래도 서양 문화의 역사 속으로 보면은 분명히 이 나누는 것이 있기는 있습니다.
I've noticed that too. I've only been back to the show now for a few days, but I've noticed that it's darker later in the morning now,
definitely.
and the sun is going down earlier now too. I don't mind winter, but that's the one thing about winter that I really don't like is the lack of sunlight.
맞아요. 겨울이 다가오고 있습니다. 끝번호 5922 쓰시는 분이요. 제가 미용을 배우는데 남편에게 이거는 AI가 못하겠지 하니까 그럴 것 같은데 저는 로봇이 수술도 하는 마당에 뭘 못하겠냐고 부부싸움 날 뻔했어요. With that last story there where we were talking about the super camera, this couple, they were tuning into the show and they almost got into an argument over whether or not this was a feasible thing.
The camera.
With one saying, yes, it can happen, and the other saying, no, it's impossible. Yeah, the camera.
I'm going to give the husband some advice.
Yeah?
Just say sorry.
There you go. 네, 남편분에게
Say sorry.
무조건
Say sorry. Have a nice Tuesday.
아내 말에 동의하라. 이렇게 조언을 해주셨습니다. 자, 선생님, 오늘의 표현 알려주시죠. What is today's expression?
It's a good one, and we just talked about it in the last news story when we talked about the fact that camera project is not without its critics. So let's talk about that expression, to be not without. So in the context of the article, we said positive things about the camera, but then we said something negative.
Yeah.
So here's how you set up the sentence. Positive, not without, negative. Or negative, not without, positive. Let me give you an example because that's a little confusing.
Yeah.
All right. So if I'm saying positive things, yesterday I came back from Thailand from my vacation. The weather is great. The hotel was beautiful. The food was really wonderful too. But the country is not without its inconveniences. The lines at immigration were so long. So I said positive, 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 but not without the negative thing.
네, 뭐뭐가 없지는 않다라고 할 때 not without라는 표현을 씁니다.
You can flip that around.
Yeah.
You can say negative, 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 but not without positive as well. So, for example, you watch a movie and you think to yourself, oh, the acting wasn't really great from the main actor. The plot was too easy to figure out. But the movie is not without its positive parts. Aesthetically, it was really beautiful. It was shot in Hawaii or something like that. See what I mean?
네, 앞에 있는 내용과 좀 반대되는 내용이지만 완전히 반대되는 건 아닐 때 여행을 갔다 왔고 여행지가 정말 좋았고 뭐 음식도 맛있고 그랬는데 불편한 점이 없지는 않았어요 라고 할 때 그때 not without 쓰면 되겠습니다.
Good expression, right?
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Steve, for that.
Well, you're very welcome. You have yourself a wonderful day. I hope our listeners have a wonderful day, and I'll be back here tomorrow.
Absolutely. Okay, well, coming up in hour 2, we have Say What? 뭐라고요? 라는 코너가 곧 이어지겠습니다. We also have music with Punita. Well, let's get to that with Michael Jackson, The Way You Make Me Feel.